we can actually listen to the interview a little bit. Wow.
Okay, good luck in game. Еще раз аплодисменты.
He doesn't look too nervous, actually. He looks pretty comfortable.
Yeah, he looks really cool. I guess he's already very, very satisfied with his result in his performance.
Yeah, when I spoke to him, he wanted top 4, I think, and yeah, he's definitely done that and blasted that goal away, and just focusing on the finals now, I guess. But it is against the machine. It is White Raw.
Was that Lil Wayne music?
You know what? I have no idea. Oh, there he is. The beast from the east. He's got so many cameramen on him. There's some guy stood right in the way.
White Raw is so awesome, man. Oh, well, can you translate that one for me, Ben?
Mustabaka. Like, how are you doing? We love you.
White Raw. Anyway, back to the maps. First map is Metalopolis, second Delta Quadrant, third map Salnaga, and the fourth and fifth, if necessary, are going to be Scrap Station and Lost Temple. I'd say I'd say actually quite a decent map pool for SjoW. I mean, I don't think there is really one map you could say that's really bad. Perhaps, I mean, I know a couple of talents don't really like Delta Quadrant, am I correct?
Yeah, it's a horrible map, and yeah, we need the players to be blue and red for this one.
Yes, I will tell them. Blue and red, please.
But yeah, I'll talk a little about those maps as long as they stop talking. Okay, oh, we see a difference already in the map pool. Against me, White Rod did veto Delta Quadrant.
Yes, I asked him about it after the series as well, and he said it's because he lost every single best of 3 so far on Delta Quadrant, or at least he dropped Delta Quadrant every single time. Yeah. So he said, like, I'm gonna veto it, but this time it's actually still in, so that surprised me a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, anything like that changing drastically for players, it's a pretty big move and pretty ballsy. So White Rod with balls of steel right now, and yeah, no Desert Oasis, that's no surprise, and no Kulas actually. So he probably vetoed Kulas after playing against me, and yeah, the obvious rushes and stuff. Even though I lost that game, I don't know what's going on actually. I really want to see how SjoW handles the White Raw.
White Raw said as well he barely practiced Kulas, that's why he went for 4-gate. Well, you went for 3-rect. Meanwhile, we do see White Raw on the screen once more. Very determined, very recognizable face as well, of course. Such an old schooler. As a Brood War past. I was never a Brood War player, never followed the scene, but I did know White Raw. Actually known for quite some time already. Met him at WCG once, and he was extremely nice to me, even though we played different games. No, I don't need the maps. I know the maps already. Okay, sorry for that. First map is Metalopolis. I guess we're going to jump into game anytime soon. SjoW against White Raw, the final of this Inter Extreme Masters. I'm very excited. Hopefully these two guys got enough energy left. They had to wait for a very long time, but I think they can still give us a great show.
Oh, wow. And I like these spawns. This makes for an interesting game. So we have White Raw spawning as the red Protoss on the 3 o'clock position.
This is worth mentioning. Oh, no, almost. It's not yet.
Is it split or what?
No, your happy birthday.
Oh, is it my birthday already?
No, it's not yet, so I don't know why they mention it.
God damn it, Sean.
Indeed. Okay.
Spoiling the surprise.
Yeah, the split is always worth mentioning, the White Raw split. But yeah, sorry, Ben, to interrupt you. Go on.
Yeah, so White Raw spawning as the red Protoss on the 3 o'clock position on Metalopolis, and SjoW spawning on the 1 o'clock or almost 12 o'clock position as the blue Terran. This kind of positioning makes for a very interesting game, and given that SjoW, I'm not sure how he's been playing his TVP recently, but I know he used to like Bio. He played very similar to me in the past, and White Raw has been playing Warp Prism a lot recently. I mean, this is a pretty nifty position for both these players.
Exactly. I'm not sure. I don't actually think we're going to see SjoW sort of start off with 2 racks and then slowly switch either into like a Raven push if he wants to do that, or just go for a sort of more defensive style where he would try to put up his own expansion. I don't really see him opening with Cloak Banshee, even though with obviously this short air distance in between the bases, it might work out well. But in general, White Raw seems very, very well prepared for such strategies. And as we mentioned several times in the past already, going for Cloak Banshee is quite a risky decision because it can get countered really, really hard.
Yeah, and White Raw's build that he's been doing, this is the new build of White Raw, which is the 1-gate, 1-robo build, which is not even new, but it's the way that he does it. He can apply pressure, he can expand, he can deny pressure. He can do absolutely everything with this build and be safe to anything. I mean, even a 3 racks bust in is pretty tough against this build. So yeah, SjoW's really got his work cut out for him here. I mean, every Terran's gone up against White Raw this tournament and pretty much failed. Like, there's no other word for it. I mean, if you're the one Protoss in a tournament and there's 10 Terrans, or one of 2 Protoss in a tournament, and there's 10 Terrans. He's had all the time in the world to practice for this and just prepare for Terran only. Whereas SjoW, on the other hand, he's had to practice his TVT, or practice his butt off with TVT to qualify just the group. So I think preparation-wise, White definitely had the advantage for this tournament.
Yeah, definitely has a slight edge for that. Interesting opening so far, actually. We saw White scouting around the map. SjoW not, of course, didn't really start scouting around that. Quite a fast factory, so not a second Rex for SjoW. Might suggest Banshee play after all. We're going to figure that one out soon. We see White opening up with the Zealot, and he will follow it up with the Stalker. I just had something on my mind which I really want to say, but then I was listening to you and I totally forgot it. But anyway, hopefully it come back.
That happens with my soothing voice. Oh, okay. SjoW, I think he's going to go for this Marauder Hellion push. This has been pretty new recently. It's to delay the Protoss, but also to do as much damage to his probes as possible. It's unlikely that you'll kill the Protoss, but the damage you do means you go into the mid-game with a certain advantage.
Of course, as long as you kill a couple of probes against Protoss early game, that's always very nice for Terran, of course, because you have the Muse to back your income up. And while Protoss purely relies on the probes only, we see quite a late second guess for White, even though he's been doing that pretty much throughout the entire tournament. But he opens robotics facility before his second guess, which is quite an interesting choice.
Yeah, this is the White Build, man. He's crazy. So
he got his own build.
Gate. He can also go add the third gate pretty soon, or he'll go 2 gate and just into Colossus. I mean, this build's so versatile. Even against me, he went. I think he just switched to High Templar randomly or Dark Templar randomly. I mean, it's really tricky to figure him out.
Sure is tricky to him out. We got the Stalker here on the edge doing a little bit of poking already on this Hellion.
And actually got 4 hits off
4
on
odds.
Hellion. That's a bit...
Yep, definitely, because normally it's quite tough for Protoss to catch up that Hellion. Oh, now I know one I want to mention, but I will mention it after this little push finish. White was actually going to use 2 probes. That surprised me a little bit.
Oh, I actually like this. Look at this play with this bunker. That could be really interesting. Oh, lovely force field though.
Very nice force field. These 2 Zealots are going to do hell a lot of damage on these Marauders and the Sentries. The Hellion got taken out as well by this little Stalker. Now this force field is working against White a little bit. But as long as SjoW doesn't have vision, oh, very nice. This Stalker is denying the bunker. Very good defense so far by White.
Solid defense, and an Immortal is soon out, which will deny this push completely. And we do have Rambo the Zealot taking out 2 Marines, so he's got 3 kills. That was amazing with that Zealot. And yet this push has been repelled somewhat easily.
Definitely one force field can do miracles for you.
Oh, I'd just like to say there is a Warp Prism being built.
I saw it
this is certainly White in his true form, and SjoW's not going to be comfortable with how that push did. I mean, he's building up his 3rd racks now because he knows that pressure is going to be applied back onto him.
That surprised me a little bit that he decided to add a 3rd Rex instead of a starport. Why would you think he does it?
He probably knows that White is expecting pressure, so he's not going to skip that, or he's not going to skip the phase where he needs to build up an army and make a Colossus.
Oh, White has to be careful with this Stalker, but nice reaction time.
He is very careful. Oh,
definitely.
And here goes the Warp Prism. It is actually flying over to SjoW's base.
With 1 Immortal, 1 Zealot, and 1 Sentry.
He can actually do a bit of damage. Oh, there is a starport going off as well. He can do a bit of damage, but this is mainly for scouting, I believe, and just being a nuisance in general. So yeah, wow, he is actually doing a lot of damage here, and that 1 Immortal will do a hell of a lot of damage to these Marauders. And he's focus firing the Marauder as well. Really solid micro here.
He brings in the 2 Stalkers as well in the front. He wipes in a couple of Zealots, but this Immortal is going to go down. I'm not sure. I mean, he's definitely obviously doing a lot of damage. We're going to take a look at the income tab. But nevertheless, he is sacrificing quite some units as well.
Wow, he lost a lot. What? Wow. That was a bit ruthless by White. I don't know what exactly he was playing at. I mean, he's lost his whole army, and SjoW didn't really take that much damage. I mean, it wasn't a good trade at all.
It's 25 SCVs left, over 31 probes. But as I mentioned before, you do have those Mules, so that pretty much equals up 5 workers. I definitely agree with you, Ben. I expected that he would just drop, kill a couple of SCVs and fly away, but instead he went for the warp mode.
Yeah, I mean, if you see a starport that's going up, it means he can't make a Viking, which means he can't hunt down your Prism, which means you can float it behind the base as much as you want, which, you know, it contains the Terran, you do your damage. If you kill 3, even if you only kill 1 SCV, you scout everything that the Terran's doing. And White is actually expanding here, which is one of his signature plays. And even though he did lose everything in that push, he is still only 6 supply behind. Oh,
Stimpack being used.
Oh, that Warp Prism. And it does get away just by the skin of its teeth. Wow.
Wow, 8 HP actually
survived. We have a counter drop by SjoW going on though, but it's been scouted by White. And he is fending it off.
Very nice by White Raw, but a little sloppy by SjoW. Probably was too busy trying to focus down this little Warp Prism, which doesn't have a lot of shield, so it will just be able to regenerate 40 HP. We do see the first Colossi in production as well. While we don't see any add-on on this Star Post, so that means no reactor. That means that SjoW won't be able to get that many Vikings out in a short amount of time, unless he decides to switch it up with one of these barracks.
Yeah, this isn't looking that great for SjoW, I must admit. When you're against a Colossus like that, you definitely need a reactor on your starport or 2 starports. I mean, having a Bioforce, you need to have pretty much double the supply to deal with just 1 Colossus, never mind 2 or 3, which we are going to see later on.
Definitely, we do see...
White Raw's Expand is actually already up. He is quite ahead right now, and there's nothing that SjoW can really do. He can go for a drop, but his base is well scouted out by these 2 pylons alone, and then he has 2 Stalkers and 2 Sentries just sitting in his main. Oh, we do have a large drop getting prepared, though. This could do a lot of damage, so never mind what I just said. There isn't enough army left behind in White Raw's base right now.
Wow, 8 Marines, 3 Hellions, and 1 Marauder. Let's see how much damage it does. White Raw is currently at 39 probes. Let's see how many survive. With good force fields, you might actually be able to lock up.
He's dropping both bases at the same time. You see this?
This is very nice play, but there is a Immortal over there, though, and Immortals are not great against Marines, but perhaps they should be able to do some damage. This drop has been cleared out. This Immortal gets taken out fairly easily by these probes, though, and White Raw is forced to pull off his probes.
Here comes the Colossus. Wow, this is a really good drop play by SjoW. I mean, I didn't expect this to do that much damage at all, but White Raw is kind of not handling this drop as well as he should be, and he's losing a lot of probes here. And he saves pretty much every Marine there, and the Colossus doesn't really live up to its name, you know?
That was indeed pretty nice executed by SjoW. White Raw fell back to 34, so that means he lost at least 5 ropes. He lost an Immortal, which is obviously an expensive unit, and he lost 1 or 2 Zealots in the process as well.
He just lost his Warp Prism
to these 2 little Vikings. So this is actually SjoW taking back control of this game. SjoW 21 supply ahead right now, and moving out with quite a big infantry force.
Yeah, this isn't looking as good as it should do. Oh, he is losing all those Marines in that little dropship though, but that doesn't really mean much. These 2 Colossus have to be really careful though. If they get caught by this Death Squad or whatever of SjoW, let's call it the Push of Doom.
No, there's only 1 Push of Doom, man. Stimpack being used by SjoW though.
And he's focusing. Oh, he has to be really careful here, SjoW, because these force fields could. Oh,
very
the
nice.
Colossus do smash up that. What would I call it again?
The Push of Doom.
We can't call it the Push of Doom though. Oh, and he's dropping at the same time, so he is doing really good here. SjoW's playing really aggressive and keeping White Raw on his toes.
Ooh, White Raw for a moment I thought he was going for the counter-attack straight away, but he decided to just defend his base, which I think is a wiser decision. We take another look at the income tab. It's 40 over 34 right now though, so SjoW having 6 SCVs more than White Raw's probes, which is not a situation you want to be in. This medevac is gonna fall down, which had 1 unit in it as well, which was probably an Alien.
Yeah, the problem for White Raw now is his gas income is so low, and for Colossus and Stalkers, you need a really, really high gas income, and soon he's going to have to push, but SjoW's building up a Viking squad, like he's doing really well for himself. I mean, SjoW did what other Terrans could not, and that is keep White Raw in his base and off your back. I mean, the Warp Prism that he did, it didn't really do much damage at all. Like, White Raw didn't really execute it perfectly like he usually would.
I don't think he does have the nice. He does have a nice amount of stalkers. Like 7 stalkers is definitely a good amount to snipe a couple of Vikings. But they're gonna have to deal with 6 Vikings, and as soon as these Colossi drop, this force from White Raw is really not that scary anymore. So very, very curious how this is gonna turn out. But I don't think it's gonna be good for White Raw.
Oh wow! And he has to pull all his SCVs right now. And where are the Vikings? The Vikings are actually in a perfect position right now. The Stalkers are pulling back to kill all the Vikings, but the Marauders are now left to deal with the Colossus alone, and they are owning it up. And it's now Stim Marauders against Stalkers with just Vikings left on in the air, doing pretty much nothing, and they are landing to take out the Stalkers. But the actual trade for that was really good for White Raw. That is incredibly surprising.
Wow.
If we look at the harvest count, it's 19 against 43.
Did not expect that.
I did, it's Protoss. All wines aside.
What?
All wines aside. That was really, really great by both of them. I mean, SjoW's positioning was perfect, but he still had to pull all his SCVs to deal with his Colossus, so the trade was not fair at all.
I am not sure if he really had to do that actually, but that aside, he is going to try for the counter push. He's at 83 supply, while White Raw is at 76. White Raw does have more than double the amount of workers, so this shows how small White Raw army is right now compared to SjoW's army. There are Vikings as well. This is not one yet for White Raw, definitely.
Colossus is walking past all those Vikings, and it does take
so much damage.
Oh wow, and it does fall down within a Oh, these great force fields though. These Zealots are going to town on these Marauders. And the Vikings at the top of the cliff are going to town on the sentries, but they are getting backed up by Zealots. So this is really close encounter for both of them. But SjoW's army is dwindling.
All WhiteRa has to do is stall a little bit of extra time. He has almost one Immortal coming out. Immortal is obviously very, very good against this group of Marauders. These Marauders are going to work on this proc though. 79 against 64 supply. Very, very nice game. Very nice
Great micro by SjoW, hitting, running.
And meanwhile, dropping in the main base as well with 8 Stinn Marines. Very, very good play by both players right now.
Wow, he's killing all those probes, and WhiteRa isn't reacting. Now he reacts, but he's lost so much that the harvest count's almost equal between these guys. Great play by SjoW.
And once more SjoW coming in from the back while WhiteRa tries to take care of this draw. SjoW is playing absolutely magnificent so far this game. WhiteRa throws down one force field, which didn't really help him, or rather bugs him a little bit.
And SjoW's back in the main again. He's not giving WhiteRa any time to breathe, and the Ukrainian audience won't be happy with this at all.
And this is how I think Terran should play if Protoss doesn't have an early Stargate. If there are no Phoenix on the map to deal with these kind of drops, this is just so incredible hard to deal with.
Yeah, and SjoW's reinforcing that army in the main, but the Colossus does come now, and he will have to escape, and he does. All those units are red and orange. That was a really good escape, and he's still harassing him at the front.
Amazing play by SjoW, really extremely amazing play by SjoW right now. He's going to try to drop perhaps on top of this Colossi. I don't think he should do that though, because Marauders are good, but Marines are not good. He's losing many of his units. Is he going to be able to take down the Colossi?
Does fall though.
But for 2 full medevacts, nevertheless, he's still going to try with this little push in the front. There are not that many units for WhiteRa, but these Zealots do absorb quite some damage.
The problem now for WhiteRa is he is mining no gas right now. He doesn't have the time to put people on gas either because he's having to micro from 2 fronts all the time. And now SjoW's actually dropping in the back of the natural as well. This is 3 fights going on all at this simultaneously. Wow. Great play by SjoW. I don't know how WhiteRa is still holding on, but SjoW's doing a fantastic job.
And what I really like to point out right now is that SjoW's APM is more than 160 average, while normally people say SjoW's a slow player. Well, definitely not SjoW, when definitely not slow when it really matters. Amazing play. These 2 Marauders are still being very, very annoying. We do see the Dark Shrine going up over here, but I don't think that's going to work.
Calls GG. Wow. Fantastic play by SjoW.
Really.